Yeah, full disclosure, I have no idea what I'm doing, and screen share isn't working correctly, so we're going to make this work though. Welcome to episode 2 of Standards Aren't Mean, Unfiltered Thoughts, Unsafe for Work. I'm your host, Inspired Spitfire, your online dating and profile expert. Today we're going to talk about Alex. Alex, by all intents and purposes, is a good guy. Alex is real, and this is his real dating profile. However, to protect the guilty, while this story is true, names and identities have been changed. So, if you're somebody that's still using I love long walks on the beach or easygoing guy who loves adventures on your dating profile, this episode is for you. It's time for an intervention. Here's the deal, it's not your looks, it's not your age, it's not your luck, it's not the sea, it's your bait. And what I mean by that is that it's not you. You're great. It's your profile. And from what I've seen, a lot of them are pretty tragic. So we're going to talk about Alex. Alex is 42. He's a nice guy, has a good job, volunteers at a dog rescue and a homeless shelter. He's basically a walking rom com. He's been divorced for 3 years. He's done the work. He co-parents like a champ. However, apparently he's allergic to love because on New Year's Eve, while he spent it with his friends, he spent it without a date. However, it could have been worse because he narrowly escaped bringing a date to the party that would have spent the entire night scrolling on TikTok and avoiding eye contact. The thing that Alex wasn't able to avoid were his well intended friends that asked the inevitable question, why are you still single? How come you don't have a girlfriend? And if you are a well intending friend who has asked this to your single friends and you're not sure why this is a backhanded compliment, stay tuned. We're going to talk about this tomorrow. The real reason, though, Karen, is because Alex's profile got buried in the algorithm underneath a bunch of truck thirst traps and dead fish photos. Here's the real truth that I think a lot of people don't really consider when they're creating a dating profile. Dating apps have an algorithm just like Facebook and TikTok do. And when you create your dating app and you hit submit, the algorithm goes through and scans it. It looks at all of your photos. It looks at if you are able to submit 6 photos. Did you submit all 6 or is it 4? It doesn't just look at your photos, it looks at the order that you're using those photos in. Yes, there is a correct order for your photos. The algorithm also scans your tagline, it scans your bio, it scans your answers to the AI prompts, all of these things. And then it assigns you a score. So it is not going to be any surprise that low effort bios receive a low score on the algorithm, and these lights are driving me absolutely crazy. I don't know what's wrong with them. They're possessed. I don't think that's going to help. Go live, they said. It'll be fun, they said. No. Okay, they're just going to do what they're going to do. Anyways, if you have a low effort bio, you are going to receive a low score in the algorithm. So saying things like just ask or not sure what I'm looking for, or all of the cliches that are showing up over and over again on multiple profiles. Those are definitely going to bring your score down. Blurry photos, group photos, sunglasses, hats, all of these things affect your algorithm score. That score is also going to determine who your profile is shown to and how often. So, obviously, profiles that have a higher score on the algorithm are getting pushed out to more women more often. If you have a low effort profile, then the reason why you're not getting any matches is because less women are seeing your profile. It's not a set score though. Every single time you update your profile, the algorithm rescans it, gives you a new score, which is also why profiles that are more active, that are frequently updated, end up having a higher score on the algorithm. So, that being said, we are going to go through Alex's profile. Again, Alex is real. This profile is real, but I changed Alex's identity to keep him from public shaming and harassing with his friends. This is Alex, the left swipe legend. Oh, my bad. His first photo is a hiking photo. He thought it showed that he was adventurous. However, hat fishing is not a pastime women enjoy, especially when they're sitting down to figure out who they're going to spend their weekend with. Alex's next picture is a group shot. We have 4 friends, 2 beers, and absolutely no clue which one is Alex. Not to mention, it's extremely out of focus. Sure, they look like they're a fun group, but women aren't real interested in playing Guess Who on a dating app. Alex's third photo is, you got it, the gym selfie. He likes to work out on his lunch hour. He thinks that women would appreciate that he takes care of himself. And while that's true, this is definitely not the way to convey that message. And then for his fourth photo, he almost nailed it. It's a professional photo. It's in focus. It's outside. The lighting is perfect. His shirt is clean. However, there are kids in this picture, and this is a no. This is an absolutely not. Under no circumstances should your kids or anybody else's kids appear on your dating profile. This is not a family Christmas card. It is your dating profile. Hard no. If you don't know why this is something that should not be on your profile or on anybody's profile that you are considering dating, stay tuned because we'll go over this next week. And then Alex stopped there. He decided that 4 pictures were enough. So he just kept going. For his tagline, looking for my soulmate. That's cool. She swiped left 3 profiles ago. She's seen that so much. Bio. Easygoing guy who loves to travel, laugh, and try new things. Okay. Just seeing what's out there. Not great at talking about myself. Ask me anything. I'm a nice guy. No drama. Please. Here's how that whole mess translates. I will absolutely bring drama, but I'd like to blame you for it. This is not something that the type of women Alex is interested in dating are going to find attractive and swipe on. For his details, He said he's 5'10". He's lying. On a good day, he's 5'8". For job, he didn't want to get too into it, so he just put tech. However, this actually comes across as unemployed, but thinking about a podcast. Kids? Yes. That's it. No further information. Doesn't mention custody, availability, any type of emotional connection. Just yes. Here's the deal. Yes, you should be honest that you have kids. No, we are not doing surprise kids 6 months into a relationship, but being honest that you have kids and being honest about the time that you spend with them, etc., is one thing. That does not mean that they need to be on your dating profile. For education, he thought he'd be coy and put School of Hard Knocks. Then politics, he said, not into politics, though I can tell you his friends and family will absolutely tell you he's very into politics at Thanksgiving. What he's looking for, Alex said, someone chill, low maintenance, no gold diggers, must be fit, and must not take herself too seriously. Now, in this case, I know Alex, so I know he's not a douche. However, if I didn't know Alex, that's how Alex comes across as a total douche. When I asked Alex why he wrote this, his intention was he was looking for someone who's laid back, that's just as comfortable in sweatpants and his t shirt as she is in heels and a dress for a night out on the town. Okay, so say that, Alex, not this. Interest. He thought saying gym sounded good. Well, if you're somebody who only goes to the gym Monday through Friday for half an hour on your lunch break because you're over 40 and realize your metabolism isn't what it used to be, that's not really an interest. That's more like a commitment. So, not really where that belongs. He also said he's interested in podcasts about success. Crypto. The reality is he was into crypto until he lost money and now he just won't shut up about it. Good conversation. Okay. While that's true and that actually is what he means, here's what I'm going to tell you. When you put good conversation on a dating profile, what that actually comes across is you want good conversation. You think you know what good conversation sounds like. However, you want somebody else to do all of the heavy lifting. That way you can walk away and be like, oh, that was a really good conversation. And traveling. If you are somebody who owns a passport and has used it at least once in the past year, okay, valid to say that your interests are traveling. That one trip to Cancun in 2016 doesn't count. Alex is a little rusty, really not sure what he's supposed to say, so for his opening messages, he thought, hey, wow, and what do you bring to the table? Sounded good. Oh, wow. So here's the overall diagnosis for Alex's dating profile. His profile screams that he's emotionally lazy, chronically underdeveloped, mildly misogynistic but calls it preferences, wants girlfriend benefits without having to put in boyfriend effort, and thinks women over 35 should be grateful. The verdict? Alex doesn't want a partner. He wants validation, access, free therapy, a woman to organize his life, and someone to make him feel chosen without him choosing back. Long story short, Alex wants a lab. So here we go. The good news is the algorithms, you can hack them. You can change your current score. All you have to do, go in, change your photos, change your tagline, rewrite your bio. And as soon as you hit submit, the algorithm will rescan it and give you a new score. So, this is what we're doing for Alex. Remember the hiking photo? That's gone. Now it's been replaced with, excuse me, a photo where he's outside, he's laughing, the lighting is good, he's relaxed, his shoulders are down, he looks like he's having fun. The photo with the kids, that one's gone. We're going to replace it with a vacation photo and a clean shirt. The gym selfie, that is also being replaced with something that shows Alex doing something he actually enjoys since he volunteers at the dog shelter. This is a perfect fit. And then there's the group photo. We're going to replace that with the photo that shows Alex still being social. However, it's in focus and we know exactly who Alex is. Now, since Alex's dating profile allowed for 6 pictures to be uploaded, we're going to go ahead and make sure that Alex's profile is 100%. That is the thing that algorithms reward complete profiles. So those AI prompts that you decided to skip because you thought they were dumb, well, they thought you were dumb too, and they reduced your algorithm score. So for Alex's 5th picture, he's sitting on a park bench enjoying a cup of coffee. And for picture 6, we have another headshot. He's nice, relaxed. Again, it's outdoor. This looks like the type of guy who grills the perfect steak, gives great advice, and will actually text you back. Alex's old tagline, easygoing, nice guy, no drama, has been replaced by best coffee in the city. I'm listening. Now, the difference between these two taglines is pretty simple. One is a statement, the other one opens up to conversation. Somebody who decides to match with Alex, it already starts a, an easy exchange between them with where do we want to go for coffee? Where's your favorite coffee place? It's kind of a no brainer. His old bio, just seeing what's out there, not great at talking about myself, ask me anything. I'm a nice guy, no drama, please. We're going to get rid of all of that. Alex's new bio says architect who builds cities by day and playlists by night, looking for someone who can make me laugh loud and think deep. Alex's details, we're going to make them so that they are honest. Height 5'8". And here's the deal. Confidence beats lying every single time. Work business owner slash he's an architect. Kids, yes, actively involved and value healthy balance. Lifestyle, stable, active, grounded. Politics, thoughtful, respectful, and open to conversation. What he's looking for used to say someone chill, low maintenance, no gold diggers, must be fit, must not take herself too seriously. That has been replaced with I'm looking for a partner, not a project. Someone emotionally aware, warm, and grounded who values honesty, growth, and shared effort. Attraction matters, but so does character, communication, and kindness. In this, the translation that women are going to hear is that Alex is safe, Alex is secure. Most importantly, Alex is an adult. Alex's interests have now been replaced by things he's actually interested in. Morning coffee over rushing, staying active, walks, gym, outdoors, not obsessive. Podcasts or books that actually make you think. Travel with intention, quality over quantity. Cooking a solid meal and enjoying it. All of these interests show that Alex is grounded, that Alex is well rounded, and each one of them opens up a line of communication. Alex's opening messages have been revamped. Hey, Susan, I liked what you said about learning to cook. What got you into that? That immediately makes it easy for her to respond, and Susan doesn't have to think too hard about how to follow up with, hey, not to mention, these days, that's really not getting much of an answer. And let's be real, come on, guys. No grown man should be saying, hey, sup, WYD. Like, come on. Use a full sentence. Please. Alex's new profile. This is why it works. Now, his pictures, his tagline, and his bio, they all have a clear intention. It shows emotional availability without oversharing. No fear of love bombing. He displays masculine and calm confidence. The bro energy is over. There's no bitterness. He's not making any demands. There's no auditioning. There's no vague nonsense. And the profile says, I'm ready, I'm capable, and I want someone who has also done the work. The final verdict, this Alex gets dates, gets second dates. He's respected. He attracts women who are secure, smart, and emotionally grown. Not because he's flashy, but because he's clear. And at the end of the day, clarity is hot. And the new Alex is a certified catch. Made it through. That was kind of crazy. Sorry. There's a message that was coming in. I was trying to see what I was saying. Okay. Anyways, obviously, this podcast, YouTube channel thing, it's weird. It's really weird. And there's definitely going to be a learning curve. So hopefully you guys will hang in there with me. There's going to be a wide variety of things that we talk about because at the end of the day, standards aren't mean and high standards don't require a fucking apology. However, that can apply to things in a wide range of ways. I mean, it's, you know, whether it's standards aren't mean in starting a YouTube channel and hosting a podcast. You know what? I don't know what I'm doing. And hey, if this is something you're interested in doing, I will be completely transparent with how it's going, what I'm doing, my wins, my fails. I mean, man, I tell on myself all the time for doing silly, ridiculous things. Why not here too? But, it's women, standards aren't mean. It is time that we stop fucking apologizing for not wanting to dim our light because other people don't like the shadows. Men, standards aren't mean. It's okay to say, hey, I'm going to set some boundaries and I'm not okay with all of the shit talking or whatever. I don't know. Wherever you're at in your life, standards aren't mean. High standards don't require a fucking apology. This will apply to AI. You know what? I love AI. We're going to play around with AI too because standards aren't mean there either. Like the AI slop is kind of unreal. And hey, why not? We can play around with that too. So here's the deal. You know, this is kind of going to be for everybody. Is every day going to be for you? No, it's not. Every day is not going to hit the mark. But, even when I'm talking to women, men, listen, pay attention. You might learn something about what she's looking for, or, a, you know, maybe it's a hidden red flag that you weren't aware of. Women, when I'm talking to the guys about their dating profiles, hey, you know what? Pay attention because we're going to discuss hidden red flags. Maybe it's that profile that you thought was safe to swipe right on, but maybe there are some things in there to think twice about. If you're married, hey, you know what? You'll be able to relate to back in the days when you were dating. But hey, we're going to talk about some married relationship things too. Lightly, very, very lightly. I don't want to get myself in trouble, and I'm definitely pretty good at that. So I think it ends up being at the end of the day there's a lot of things that we can all relate to in one way or another, but I also know that humor definitely makes things a little bit easier to hear, a little bit easier to take, and sometimes it slaps you in the face, and it's after the fact where you're left saying, "Oh shit, that hits hard," and wow, not gonna lie, actually did some self-reflecting while I was laughing so hard it hurt. So that's the goal, and we're gonna see if we can, accomplish that. If you have a profile that you think needs to be rehabbed, drop a comment below that says profile SOS and send me a DM. Once a week, we'll pick one. Yeah, we'll pick the profile of the week to overhaul. So thanks for hanging in here with me, and I will see you guys tomorrow. Have a good night.